along I thought our friendship was true. Put my trust in you right from the start. I never dreamed that you would be my enemy when I did take my heart. You screwed me in the perfect way. A friend betrayed. Just another mourner, content to follow orders. Leave behind your conscience, abandon those who need you most. Convince yourself you're noble, but we both know it's not so. But if you cross my battle line, you'll find you'll be sorry that you tried. If it's war that you want, then you get it. If it's pain, then I brought what you need. If it's true what you say, you're the best in the play. You won't believe it until you see it. When I kick your ass and look you in the eye, with a smile and a cheerful heart, I'll turn to you and wave goodbye. I'll be honest, I was plenty surprised. Turned from family to full-on despise. Just like you to take the coward's way out. A book of lies with no replies. This diatribe's your victory, no doubt. You knew the cruelest thing to say, then ran away. Filled with spite and taunted, like Judas and a blonde kid. Just a mindless weapon pointed at an enemy. A simple tool providing someone else with victory. Now that you crossed my battle line, it's time that I blow your little mind. So I'm a friend, I really must give you the credit. You achieved the goal. Perhaps the first time in your life you felt control. I'll never trust the same old sick friendship as just another game. Full of winners and losers, selfish abusers. You failed to fly, but somehow I'm to blame. If it's war that you want, then you get it. If it's pain, then I brought what you need. If it's true what you say, you're the best in the play. You won't believe it until you see it. When I kick your ass and look you in the eye, with a smile and a cheerful heart, I'll turn to you and wave goodbye. Never really had a
In Washington, Donald Trump
switched it up, me, switched it up, me, switched it up, me, switched it up,
Parker, you ain't got a tag.
switched it up,
Pause time and stay as we fight through. Don't know my name, yet we remain the unknown few. We're holding still forever till chains disappear. We clutch our kin, we'll meet again. We count the years, and it goes on and on, and again, pushing me. And it goes on and on, and again.
Alright, what's good, y'all? Sorry I took a little longer than usual, but I'm here. How y'all doing? I'm Riding the Fans here. We back with another episode of the Lightning Round Podcast. We are on episode number 94. Number 94 of this podcast. We're only just so few episodes away from reaching the great milestone of 100. But yeah, we're just gonna keep on trucking along and keep on going until we get there. But you know, we'll worry about that when it's time. Anyway, we have some things that we do need to discuss today, definitely. So we have a couple of things that's on our mind. I'm sure we do. So here are the topics for today. Okay. First topic for today, of course, is we need to talk about what's been going on with the NFL. You know, what happened with the NFL Week 7. You know, definitely got some stuff there we need to cover with that. And really, last but not least, because there isn't much to cover, we need to talk about, you know, some gaming. Just a little bit of gaming, not a whole lot, but still just enough to get our attention to make us want to go ahead and, you know, talk about some shit from there. As y'all know, gaming is a topic that we cover last on this podcast. Sports is a topic we cover last on this podcast because it's the longest thing to talk about. So, we're going from the shortest to the longest, as we always do. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and proceed with the podcast. So, how about that kind of meeting? First things first, this is actually one of the shortest ones to talk about, even though it is supposed to be gaming, my bad. We gotta talk about the NBA. The NBA is coming back tonight, so let's see what's going on here with the NBA. Slight bit of sports news. Very slight. See what's going on with that NBA.
When I say the NBA on NBC, what memories come to mind?
I have none, zero. 1990s?
Oh, I need a memory from there.
I have no idea.
I wasn't old enough.
I wasn't alive, man.
Like, yeah, you're joking, right? I was like, nah.
Michael Jordan.
You really want to know that, right? The era that I played, you got a picture painted of authenticity. Just genuine love for the game.
Yeah. Super nostalgia. It was just super dope and inspiring for me.
Fondest memory of the 90s was just all the rivalries. The heyday of the NBA.
I want to see MJ play.
Magic Johnson, Reggie, Patrick Ewing. You could feel the contention. You can feel the competitiveness on the basketball court.
People always ask me, which era do I prefer?
That's for you to decide.
Jay, Jokic, honest, basketball truly is a global sport.
The game we all love. Oh yeah, it's back.
Cue up the music.
This is the NBA on NBC.
Wow. Ain't that a trip down memory lane, huh? The NBA finally makes its long-awaited return to NBC. It has been... Oh, man. It's been such a long time since we last heard that theme in relation to the NBA. My God. Like, I'm not a big basketball fan, but that's one of the childhood memories for me that I will always remember is, look, anytime for me when football wasn't on, I would just tune in on NBC and watch basketball from there. So, to see that the NBA finally makes its long-awaited return to NBC, it's always good to see. Now, granted, they're taking over that spot from TNT at the time. Y'all remember TNT was like doing NBA games and stuff for a bit. Now, NBC is back having to do these games, and they're gonna do it a little differently with how that's gonna be done. Now, if you remember the TNT when they did the Inside the NBA, from TNT, that's going to ESPN. So that won't be going to NBC. That's going to ESPN, and apparently they're gonna keep it the same way like how it was over there in TNT. So there won't be much of a loss. There won't be much of a loss there. So for anyone that loved it back then, hopefully it'll be the same when you take a look at it over there on ESPN. I kind of doubt it, cause turn that down a little bit. I kind of doubt it, only because of the simple fact that we know how we know how Disney is, we know how ESPN is, where they will ruin some shit. So we will see how that's gonna go. But for right now, it's good to see the NBA on NBC actually make a good return. Now, with that being said, let's talk about some gaming. We definitely got some gaming stuff to talk about and cover. We'll start with, of course, Ubisoft. Apparently, Ubisoft has gone out their way and actually made some good moves as of late. Granted, I feel like some of these good moves, they were forced on, like they had no choice. But nonetheless, I'll take what I can get. These are some good moves. This is what's been going on with the crew as of late. Wow. For anyone that still plays the Crew Motorfest, you definitely got some shit to look forward to. So, the 9th season of this game, the 9th season, which I'm shocked they're still going with Motorfest, because, like, when did this come out? The Crew Motorfest? When the hell this came out? Like in, 2015? 2023, my bad. God damn, I'm tripping. So this came out 2 years ago. So I don't know how long the crew usually. I don't know how long they usually do this stuff with the crew, where they'll sit up there and they'll tell you, oh, okay, this is what we got going on. This is how we're gonna go ahead and do our updates and blah 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 blah. But I usually don't remember a game lasting as long as they have. So it'll come out March 2026 with this whole playground theme park thing going on, and it's like not gonna lie, this shit definitely does look pretty cool. I had to make sure the chat was working. This shit do look pretty cool though, where you got a whole Hot Wheels park shit going on with the game. So doing loop-de-loops and everything, that shit is looking pretty cool. But that isn't the only news that they have. But yeah, for this is definitely a good little start, where they're gonna give you more stuff than usual, even more content, even more things you could want, even more things to have fun with. But so far, I'm liking what I'm seeing off this Crew Motorfest. Now, will I probably play it? Maybe not, because they got this going on with the crew. Let me see if I can. Should be right around here. Here it is, right here. More news with the crew. The Crew 2. I never played the Crew 2. But it's good to see is because honestly this was forced on, but I'll take what I can get. So the Crew 2 will now officially have an offline mode. This is a hybrid mode that they're calling it, I guess. So the Crew 2 is available offline. Your offline progression will be based on the local copy of your online save. Generate and update your offline save based on your online progression when you want in the dedicated tab. So congratulations to the people that did Stop Killing Games. They pushed Ubisoft to do this, because if they didn't do what they did, you would never get a game mode like this. And of course, we got the whole thing going on right now with the Crew Unlimited, where you're able to play that game really for any way you see fit, whether it's on, funny enough, whether it's on Windows, whether it's on Linux, doesn't matter what it is. This is good to see. And honestly, more games need to start pushing this shit. Like, more games they're gonna have no choice but to start pushing this shit. You're gonna have to start having to do offline modes, okay? Like, whether or not, doesn't matter what era we're in. If people want to play this game, they earn the right to play this game however they see fit. They bought their money, they paid for it. Stop telling us this thing is all a license shit when it's stupid. We paid our hard-earned money for this. We can choose not to pay our hard-earned money. So it's good to see that they're having no choice and they're getting pushed to have to do this. That's more so a plus for the community, not a plus to Ubisoft, because Ubisoft would have never made this happen. It wouldn't have done a damn thing. Now, the Crew Motorfest, the Deluxe Edition, is $8 right now at the Ubisoft store. There's that, but if you don't want to get it to the Ubisoft store, you can get it on Steam for like what, $17? Probably cheaper than that. Let me check. Go and check and see. I know I got it because I took advantage of it. Because why not? Okay, so the Crew Motorfest right now, it is $17.49 right now. 75% off is going to expire within a couple hours. Is down to 48 hours, so 2 days left. You have 2 days left to go grab the Crew Motorfest, or if you want to grab the Deluxe Edition, that's $20. You also, again, you have 2 days left. Now, there is that, and the Crew 2. If you want to grab that, you can grab that, but that is $3. Along with, if I recommend you just get the Gold Edition. You just have everything there. The Gold Edition is $5. So I don't know how much y'all care about it, but yeah, right now on Steam, the Crew and the Crew 2 are very, very cheap right now for 48 hours. After that, we have no idea when they're going to be cheap again, unless you go to somewhere like GG Deals, and you'll be able to, get the games from there. So that's everything with the Crew. Now, there's another sale going on. You got a Sonic sale going on. This was on the 15th. We don't know how long this is still going on. I'm going to go and take a look. I honestly was not paying attention from this, because this is from the 15th. It's very likely those sales... Okay, never mind. Those sales are still there. We're gonna see how long those sales are still there. Let me go ahead and click on, say, let me do Sonic Colors Ultimate because I never bought it. Okay. So this lasts for 7 days. Sonic Colors Ultimate lasts for 7 days. Sonic Adventure 2 lasts for... Okay, so you got a whole week left. Okay. So you have a whole week left. A whole week left to get whatever it is you want to get from the Sonic, you know, that's Sonic related. Whether it's Sonic Superstars, Cross Worlds, which is great. I'm going to tell you that right now. I haven't played in a bit, but it's great. I have not played Frontiers, but I have it. And I do need to play. In fact, let me see that digital deluxe edition. Let me check and see what's going. Do I even have that? If I don't, I might have to grab that myself. What's in the deluxe edition? Because I don't think I do have it. Let me see here. I'm gonna assume I don't have it. Because the only thing they gave me for a DLC. Hold on, let me go and take a look at this. The Monster Hunter one, yeah, I remember that. I guess that's it. Really? Yeah, I guess that's it. I thought there'd be more than that. I do remember this game did come out with some updates, but I don't know. It's up to y'all if y'all want to grab that or not. Hold up. Sorry about that. I had to sneeze. But yeah, if y'all want the deluxe edition or regular edition, you could grab it. You know, you got like 7 days left. Lost World is $7. You know, all of it is 7 days left. So y'all got time until they finally decide to say, you know what, fuck it, we're done. We're not going to sell no more, and that's it. If I had to pick one, I do want these Sonic X Shadow Generations. I do want that, but I'm not gonna break my neck to try to grab it. I know how good it is. I've been told so many times about how good it is, but again, like I said, I'm not going to break my neck for it. Alright. Now that we got that out the way, we have some news on Battlefield. We got some EA news. This one just came out a couple hours ago, so let's go ahead and talk about it. Let's cover it. So, apparently, Battlefield has now nerfed the Portal Experience XP farming, with many servers that have bots to farm XP no longer awarding Mastery XP or completion percentage. Now, I will see for myself if this is true. In fact, let me go ahead and hop into the game, and we're going to find out and see just how true this is. We're about to find out. I haven't gotten on Battlefield yet today, so, yeah, why not? I got the time today. You know what I mean? I got the time today. Alright, let's get in there. Okay, let me go and close the game and reopen it. In fact, let me go ahead and check and see. Let me do it as a per update kind of thing. Would that ruin it? No, it would not. Okay. Let's take a look and see if that update is live. Shall we? Let me go to the source projector. There you go. Okay. Let me go into community. Let me go to search. Let me go to most popular. This was what I was doing at the time in order to get my stuff going on. Breakthrough. Whoa, this is definitely different. Let me put down 200M. Did they get rid of it? Yeah, I think they got rid of it. The one I was on, I think they got rid of. Let me go ahead and hop in though. Yup, you can see from there. XP, yup. Yup, 100, yup. Match completion bonus. Whew. Can confirm they fucked this up. They fucked this up pretty damn bad. So if you were able, I hope you were able to get those challenges done when you could. I know I'm happy I did. I said, fuck all that. You're not gonna do this to me. Yup. Every single server, even the most popular ones, they will not give you full XP. They only give you XP for match completion, which is fucking nuts. So I'm happy that the one thing I made sure to do, I'm happy I did it while I could. I got a good chunk of this stuff out the way, but the main one I wanted to get out the way was this. I wanted to make damn sure I got the PSR. Because the requirements for you to be able to get this weapon is out of control. So it's a good thing that those farm servers did exist, because otherwise I would be sitting here for weeks, probably months, trying to get this shit. And the way I see it is this. DICE, for me, has no one but themselves to blame. They have no one but themselves to blame. These farm servers don't exist. These farm servers do not exist if you don't make these challenges, if like they don't exist if y'all just do not make these challenges stupid hard. Real shit, 200 headshots. Like what they said was 100, 200 headshots, 300 headshots within 200 meters with a sniper rifle. You know how long that's gonna take people? That's going to take people an enormous amount of time to even complete. So it's like, look, if you're going to do this, you have to severely tone this shit down. This goes for every challenge. If you're going to keep weapons on here, okay, if you're going to keep weapons as challenges, you need to tone them down. Because in Battlefield 3, it was never this bad. It was never this bad. Battlefield 4, when they had brought it back with the challenges, it was never this bad. And that's what's not being talked about. That's what refuses to get talked about. It was never this bad with these challenges. So the fact that they made it borderline out of control, borderline impossible for you to get unless you sink like thousands of hours on this game, you have no choice but to XP farm your way out of it. Now, as I said, for me, I'm just lucky I got what I could get. I got the LMG challenge done, and I got the sniper rifle challenge done, and I don't regret it. I'm gonna be real with you. I have no shame with this, because why would you make this incredibly difficult for anyone to get? I'm used to guns being on locks just from playing the game. Not this. Not this. So, for DICE, y'all have to do something with this, okay? This is an issue that y'all have to figure out. How about not make the challenges incredibly difficult? Well, incredibly, like, grindy when it's unnecessary. Just leveling up alone is enough of a grind. So why would you make the challenge that much of a grind? For anyone that wonders, when you play Battlefield 6, for anyone that wonders, for why you see teammates not playing the objective, why you see all of this going on where they would ignore you, this shit is why. These challenges are why. They don't care about you when you're playing the game. Don't tell me Battlefield's all about teamwork, and then you counteract that by putting in weapons that is really tell you, okay, if you want this weapon, if you want this unlockable, you have to really grind and dedicate yourself to try to get this. As in, you cannot let anything sidetrack you from getting to this goal. That's the problem that DICE does not seem to understand. Don't tell people to play the fucking objective, and then when you got challenges like this in the way, where it stops people from playing the objective. It tells them they have to be out for themselves to get this. So it's counterintuitive. Make it intuitive. Make it for your people. That's really much all. That's pretty much all I have to say when it goes to this. You know, because it's fucking stupid. Don't say you're all about playing objectives. Don't say you're all about this shit and then you fuck around and then you pull this. Guns in general, in my opinion, do not belong in challenges, in a challenges tab. They don't. Make them unlockables. You have all these ranks that you could get with the game. Why are they not unlockables by rank? It's a stupid decision. Anyway, this is what they have done to try to, you know, balance the XP issue that I was just talking about. And I'm pretty sure I think I had talked about it. Did I talk about it last week? No, I did not. So what they said was with the progression changes, which there are in effect as of now, match completion XP per minute increased by 10%. XP from daily challenges increased by 40. The XP to unlock the first 20 attachment ranks has been reduced. For weapons that are already being progressed, the UI might display something inaccurate at first. This will resolve once a match has been complete. Once it's been played with that weapon. Assignments requiring career ranks 2023 and 26 will now require ranks 10, 15, and 20 respectively. That's okay. But my thing is, and I can tell you this, with the XP progression, it's not much. Y'all didn't do much. What's the problem here? What's the problem here? Now, y'all can bump that up to like 15, 20%. Y'all chose not to. Anyway, look, that's just me. They can do better. Okay? You're going to start taking away these XP farms. Start bumping up these, you know, the XPs that we get while we're playing. Start toning down a bit of these challenges, and there you go. You got yourself a damn good game already right off rip. You just got to fix whatever issues you got in-game. Which, speaking of which, they said that they were going to find a way to... that's a high priority where they're going to fix the issues like the hit detection and, you know, whatever it is that's going on with the game. They said they're going to make that a high priority and try to fix that for the next update. So far, the game is good. I'm having fun with the game. Hell, I still play the game when I'm able. But I'm not going to sit here and act like these are issues that's currently going on with the game, because this is absolutely the problem. They need to fix this. You know, this is a good game, but it can be a great game. It can be a amazing game if they just fix these issues that are persisting right in front of them. And they better fix them quick if that's what they're going to do. Alright, so we'll see what will happen, but they can do better. This is not enough. The match completion XP per minute is not enough. Needs to be more. Needs to be more. Alright, next, we got some random news when it goes to Yakuza. Majima is a guest villain, final guest villain for the Shinobi Art of Vengeance, which is Sega Villain Stage DLC, in addition to Death Adder and Dr. Eggman. Right now, it's currently on sale. I don't know for how long. I'm going to take a look. It's on sale for $26. Let me go and take a look. Is that still true? 2 game. I remember going from them. Okay, so once you put in the code 2 game, it will drop price. But yeah, at the moment, if you like the game Shinobi, you get to fight Majima. So you go have fun. You know, have at it. Have at it. Alright. Now, last but not least in gaming, well, almost last but not least in game news, I forgot to cover this right here with Battlefield, with this Battlefield video. with the Bloom in the Spread. There you go. Bloom in the Spread was what I forgot to cover, but this guy, he's going to cover it in this vid. But right here it says Greg Malley's, or Miles, I guess. Greg Malley's officially confirms he has left Rare after 35 years of being with the company. He was a director of Banjo-Kazooie and Sea of Thieves, and his simple last words was thanks to everyone who played. Now, this man, go ahead and enjoy a great retirement. I hope he enjoys life to the fullest as he already has, but this is the way how I see it. The biggest mistake that Nintendo did was not acquiring Rare when they should have. Rare was making Nintendo so much money. And we know why Rare was making Nintendo so much money over a span of what? 3 games? I mean, we already know what the most popular one is, but 3 games? 3 games during its time period with the Nintendo 64. And they chose to sit up there and be like, nah, I ain't want to get them. I ain't want to buy them. Now, I understand people were going to sit up here and tell me, you know, Microsoft had the money, they had the bread. I'm going to be honest. I don't know. Considering what Nintendo has always been, I don't believe it when they say they don't have money. Nintendo always had money. Nintendo's been around since the fucking, 80s? They've always had money. They've always had enough to get what they wanted to get. They always had enough to, you know, do what had to be done. But, yeah, it's interesting that, you know, that's for me is their biggest fumble. The fact that they chose to sit up there and not get Rare when they should have, because they would have continued to make some more good games. They would continue to make some good money. Microsoft, ever since they acquired Rare, has done nothing with them, and it boggles my mind to this day why they keep them around. They should have never bought them in the first place if you weren't going to use them. You know what I mean? Stupid for me, personally. But, you know, it is what it is. You know what I mean? What happened has happened, but Rare's going to be missed as a company at this point because we knew what they could bring with gaming. And we also knew they could have done more with gaming. Another thing is, you know, Perfect Dark. You know, Perfect Dark's cancellation. Perfect Dark probably would have been perfect on Nintendo. I'm going to be real with you. They probably would have let them go on ahead. Be like, you know what? Go ahead. Go make some shit. For all the shitty things we get at Nintendo for, the one thing I don't think we are really going to get at them entirely for is when they see some popular games. When they see a popular games for some popular companies, they're going to jump on it. It just shocks me that in this one instance, they didn't jump on it. And this is the one thing for me that kind of cost them. You know, they could have had a true shooter within their console, and they said, nah, I'm good. We not fucking with that, which is crazy to me. GoldenEye could have been their shooter. Perfect Dark could have been their shooter. Anytime when people would be playing, like, say, you know, Halo at the time, or Gears of War, or Killzone, you know what I mean? That could have been right there with Nintendo, right in front of their face. They could have entered in an entirely different era. You know, when there's a, it's funny enough because there's a big what if on what if EA weren't dicks back in 2000, back in 99, back in 2002, you know what I mean? What if they weren't dicks back then to the now the guy that did Battlefield 6, what is his name? Randy Pritchard. He did it. He made Infinity Ward. If I got his name right, I hope I did. If I butchered it or if I missaid it, let me know. It makes me wonder what would happen if EA weren't dicks back then? Would we really have a Call of Duty in our midst? I very much fucking doubt it. I don't think Call of Duty would be at the position that it's in now if it weren't for EA. Let alone if it weren't for Steven Spielberg, because he pretty much inspired Call of Duty to even exist in the first place. Probably also Battlefield. So I look at it like that, and now I have to look at it like this. What if Rare had bought... what if Nintendo had bought Rare that day? What if Nintendo actually shelled up enough money, which they absolutely could have. I don't want to hear people saying they couldn't. I'm sorry. They could have absolutely gave Rare what they wanted. And be like, you know what? Yeah, we're closing the deal. Rare's ours for the foreseeable future. If they had done that day, what would the landscape of gaming look like? If you still would have had more Banjo-Kazooie. Now, the only thing I wouldn't be sure about is Sea of Thieves, because if Rare gets bought out by Nintendo, I don't think we're getting Sea of Thieves. I doubt it. But I'm gonna be honest, that will be a sacrifice worth having if Rare would have a plethora of other games at their disposal. And that would have kept them going for years and years and years, and they wouldn't be at the position that they're at now, where it's like they're just not there anymore. So, yeah, it makes you wonder. Alright, now we got Battlefield 6 again. I should have covered this from the video, but this right here is going to be a couple changes here. We're really going to go from here to this one, if possible, where they're going to talk about the bloom and spread problems going on with Battlefield. This is probably one of the last ones we'll cover with Battlefield.
So first, probably one of the most problematic things here is the bloom or bullet spread issue in Battlefield 6. Now, what is this if you don't know what we're talking about? You've probably noticed it even if you don't necessarily know what we're mentioning here initially. But this is a case of you'll be firing and what feels like you're perfectly aligned with where you're shooting at, you're just not hitting at all. Normally, this isn't something that's like widely noticed. Bloom or spread isn't something that's necessarily new and exclusive to Battlefield 6, and it's not necessarily something that's inherently wrong, mimicking real-world deviations, and it's something that even developers like Florian from the DICE team, the principal game designer, he's mentioned that bullets fired are from the barrel, which is below your reticle, and you'll need to have that distance between where those angles end up meeting. That roughly being around 50 to 100 meters, depending on the scope you're using. That means that within close range, you might actually need to aim a little higher because of the bullet's spawning position, and that all weapons are 0 to 50 meters by default, except for precision weapons like sniper rifles that are 0 to 100 meters. This means that in very close range, you might have to aim a few pixels higher. So by default, the pinpoint precision is dependent upon factors that won't always equal right where your red dot or something is, but the spread of that deviation is where the question comes into play. Spread and bloom has a cone that will tighten and widen at certain points in your movements, in your positioning, things like that. Think of it almost like how you were to, say, hip firing or sliding or something like that. Your standard crosshair spread would widen in that sense to visualize that you're going to have a wider spread and cone of where your shots will go, thus denoting that your accuracy is going to decrease. That spread is going to be wider. Now apply that same sort of like mental visual to while you're ADS, but much tighter of a spread than what you'd see with like a hip fire or something. Now obviously your margin of error in a sense is much smaller, but you'll still have some horizontal and vertical deviation thrown into the mix when full auto. However, right now within Battlefield 6, it appears that these are just much worse and broken in some capacity, whereas others are a little less affected. I would like you to go and use, say, like the defaulted MP5 or another SMG and compare it with your experience at range compared to like a rifle. You'll probably find a night and day difference right now in control and in shot placement, which then disrupts the entirety of the sort of classification ecosystem for gunplay. When you have classifications of weapons not being nearly as accurate as they should be and allowing other weapons to step into that position, you have things like your SMGs and shotguns, which are predominantly used for close range. Realistically, those SMGs are then outclassing rifles for more mid-range combat, which
I will confirm and tell you this right now. SMGs and LMGs in Battlefield 6 pretty much rule the land. Assault rifles don't do shit. Don't do shit. assault rifles is light work in this game. The promotion of assault rifles, as it should be with the assault class, is damn near non-existent for a number of reasons. One, because of open class, and I'm pretty sure everyone's pretty much said this right then and there. Open class weapons is probably one of the worst things they could do for Battlefield, and I'll be blunt. As much as I like it, it's not good. Because at this point, you're practically telling me, okay, if assault weapons is this bad, let me go ahead and use a carbine, or let me go ahead and use an LMG or an SMG instead. And I'll just look at using it for all the other weapons and not give a damn about. This game's investment in open weapons is terrible. It's not good. Now, is this something I'm going to have to deal with? Yes. Do I like it? Absolutely not. I'm not with this shit. So, what the fuck is going on with all these notifications? But let me go ahead and put this on Do Not Disturb. There. So, yeah, as far as I'm concerned, this is a big mistake. Okay? Open weapons that they're promoting is a big mistake, and it hurts more so when you have shit bloom with the assault rifles. There's not one assault rifle I could legitimately sit up there and want to really use and be happy with, because it's like, I look at it and I'm like, no, I'm not with this, okay? I'm not with all this. I'm not with all this. So, yeah, at some point, Battlefield's going to have to adjust it. They got to fix it, because nobody cares about assault rifles in this game. People barely care about SMGs as it is. I do, because there's certain SMGs that work just as good as an assault rifle does. Such as, for an example, the MP45 is fucking phenomenal. In my opinion. It's just as good as an assault rifle is. Like, when I go back and I play Battlefield 6 for y'all on stream, you're going to see it with how much fun I would have with the MP45. I would not even so much as think about trying to use an assault rifle, because I don't want to. There's nothing attractive with using an assault rifle right now with Battlefield 6 until they fix it. They gotta give us a reason. So far, that reason's not there. It's SMGs, LMGs, and sniper rifles. That's it. So, it is what it is with that. They have to fix that. The bloom issue is terrible. Bloom spread issue is terrible. Now, I know they did say they was gonna do something with movement changes. If they're going to do something with movement changes, fine, as long as it doesn't take away the core of the gameplay, because having to try to see people slide and jump and kill shit, thinking this shit is Call of Duty, it would kill the game entirely. We saw this in beta, how much people were not having fun with this, having fun having to see this shit. We had the AIM community out here in full force when it went to this whole movement shit, and then, lo and behold, the minute you sit up there and drop the game, the AIM community is a complete no-show. Which is what they should be. Like, get them the fuck up out of here. Okay? So, that's just my opinion, you know. That's how I look at it. Alright. So, last but not least, this is how fast this episode's going. We now have to cover these NFL games. Oh, buddy, this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. Alright, let's start. My bad, I forgot to go to the voice chat, because I know there's going to want to be people that's in here for this, in here to talk about this for the voice chat. I know y'all going to want to come on here to talk about this. So, this is the big thing, the big finale. Alright, so we got the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Unk Bowl, as for what everyone was calling it. Joe Flacco, Aaron Rodgers, they put on a show. Did they ever put on a show in this game? Joe Flacco going for 31 of 47, 342 yards, 3 touchdowns. Aaron Rodgers, 23 of 34, 249 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. One of them was ripped away. It would be one interception if it wasn't ripped away, but, it is what it is. Chase Brown getting 108 yards. Jalen Warren getting 127 yards. The receiving, Pat Fryermuth, 5 receptions, 111 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jamar Chase having the time of his life. Finally, 16 catches, 161 yards, and a touchdown. He took over for Puka Nacua this time. This was a great game. Not only a great division game, but probably one of the best games out of the week. This was fun to tune into, having to watch. I enjoyed this. And I'm sure a lot of people also enjoyed how this went. I mean, all I got to say is this. We need more of this. We need more of seeing the Unks go after each other the way that they did. And, we probably will get more of it very, very soon. But for the time being, I'll take what I can get. It sucks that Aaron Rodgers had 2 interceptions because, honestly, one of those interceptions might have changed the game. It was a full-on offensive explosion. We have no idea what could have happened if one of them weren't taken away from him. Now, I will say this with Joe Flacco. It's amazing to me that this dude came in 10 days after getting signed, and he's already given Jamar Chase the more amount of targets than he could have ever gotten, so far this season with how the Bengals have been operating. Even with Joe Burrow before he got hurt, 16 catches for 161 yards. Perfect, man. Perfect. But yeah, it's pretty damn good to see Joe Flacco still out here putting in work, damn near in his 50s, World War I veteran style, with 3 touchdowns, just showing the kids what's up, apparently. So, great game overall, great game. I really did enjoy this. All right, so next we got one of the contenders of Clap Cheeks of the Week. I say one of because we know what Clap Cheeks of the Week is going to be. We have Matthew Stafford and the Rams taking on Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars fall 35-7. This shit was not fair. Matthew Stafford, we need to have this talk. How you sit up there and throw for 5 touchdowns versus the Jags, right? Tell me that. You throw for 5 touchdowns versus the Jags, but then when it goes to the fucking Ravens, you can't even so much as muster up 2 touchdowns. I'm not letting it go. And for good reason. Because he burned me of $140 that I could have won. I could have won $140 if he didn't burn me. Bad enough he didn't get the yards in that game. Not only did he not get the yards, but he didn't get any touchdowns either. So he burned me pretty damn bad. So yeah, Matthew Stafford for me personally is on my shit list. He's on my shit list. Can't do that versus the Ravens, who's a banged up team. Cannot do shit. But you'll do it versus a healthy Jags team. Now, I'm going to look at his schedule. He got the Saints next. The Saints. He better throw for 2 touchdowns in this game. 2 or more in this game. I'm going to set it at 2. I'm going to have it as a separate bet, too. I'm going to have it as this. You better throw for 2 touchdowns in this game. If he does not, I'm going to be real. I'm calling him a fraud. I don't care. I'm going to call him a fraud, and I won't think twice about it. So, yeah, that's really how I look at it right now. Oh, whoa. Give me a minute. Hold on. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. But yeah, like I said, Matthew Stafford, bro, he's on alert. The way how I see it, he better definitely make sure that he does he better put in work. That's all I gotta say, cause I ain't too thrilled. I ain't too thrilled with him right now, considering what he did, the previous game to that. He better put up 2 touchdowns and like 300 yards versus the Saints. As he should. All right. So next, I mean, the Jags right now is on fraud alert watch, and the thing is, which is so crazy to me, is they're not the only one. Yeah. Not the only one, but yeah, we got the Patriots. No, not the Patriots. My bad. We got the Eagles and the Vikings. This game I wanted to go ahead and definitely cover. Jalen Hurts, bro. So far as of late, he's been balling when it goes to passing the ball. 19 of 23, 326 yards, 3 touchdowns, and what is not shown on here, but I'll go ahead and tell you, the motherfucker had a perfect passer rating. Perfect passer rating. Perfect passer rating, bro. Going 19 of 23 and had a perfect passer rating. For 326 yards and 3 touchdowns. You don't get much better than that. That's the best game you could possibly play. Carson Wentz, on the other hand, went 26 of 42, 313 yards, 2 interceptions. We picked them off twice. Saquon Barkley, I mean, I'm going to be real with you. That Madden curse is hitting Saquon like a truck. 18 carries for 44 yards. Jordan Mason, 15 carries, 57 yards, and a touchdown. Yeah, I think they scored. Yeah, they only scored like a couple of touchdowns in this game. Ain't that some shit? Well, really, I think it was mostly fucking. Yeah, only scored 1 touchdown. Everything else was just field goals. Ain't that some shit? Justin Jefferson was. Let me look at him. Justin Jefferson, he had 5 catches for 79, but it didn't really feel like it. I'm going to be real with you. Now, Jordan Addison, on the other hand, balled out. 9 receptions, 128 yards, did not get a touchdown. Nobody got a passing touchdown in this game. No one got a receiving touchdown in this game. Because, really, the Eagles' defense did a good job when it mattered. When it went to the red zone, they just was not letting them get in the end zone. For whatever reason it was. On top of that, there was mistakes from the Vikings as well. Like a botch snap kind of fucked it up. And then, of course, Carson Wentz giving up turnovers is not helping. So he's going to play again next week. The way that I look at it is this. If you're constantly playing Carson Wentz, now maybe J.J. McCarthy still is injured, but I'm not going to rule this out. If you're constantly playing Carson Wentz, that means you weren't ready to play J.J. McCarthy. You should have sat him down, and y'all should have sat up there and got an experienced quarterback to play the season while he sat back and developed. That's what they should have done. And I'm going to be real with you. This is what is hurting a lot of the growth when it goes to young quarterbacks these days. No one talks about this. No one talks about this. Teams are so impatient these days to start quarterbacks that they don't understand. You not sitting these quarterbacks and giving them time to develop, giving them time to sit and do what they got to do. This is why we're so fast on calling them busts. This is why we're so fast on saying that they're washed. Because you're not giving them time to grow. Like, this ain't the case, and I'm sorry I have to say this. This ain't the case with certain quarterbacks that come out where it's like, okay, they're just good right off rip. They're just safe-proof right off rip. Like, I see it coming. Cam Ward was going to be one of these quarterbacks where he's just good right off rip because, he proved it that he could be good when he was over there in Miami when he had really much to deal with. And then when you go over to the league, you come over to the Titans, where you still don't have much to deal with and you're still making shit happen, he's going to be that kind of guy. I can't say this for every other quarterback. Funny enough, one of the best, if not the best quarterback in the game, and Patrick Mahomes, he did not start immediately. People forget this. Okay? They forget this. Patrick Mahomes sat behind Alex Smith for like, what, a year or two? And then that's when the Chiefs decide, all right, Patrick's ready. Let's trade him. Let's trade Alex Smith to the Commanders. And that's what they did. Because they felt he was ready. So, I don't get why are NFL teams so impatient on one. It's like, I get it. Y'all want instant gratitude. Y'all want instant success. But look at your quarterbacks now after you draft them. They're not doing too hot because you're not giving them time to sit and learn. I remember how it went when it went to quarterbacks like that. They would sit back and they would learn. They would know what mistakes to do, what mistakes not to do. Hell, the Eagles was about to take this exact approach with Carson Wentz, and then, of course, what happened with Sam Bradford, where he had to get traded because Teddy Bridgewater blew his knee out. And he had to start the whole season. They don't usually do that. That's not how the Eagles operate. That's still not how they operate. Jalen Hurts, on the other hand, let's go ahead and take him. Jalen Hurts, I mean, who knows? He might have gone the whole season not playing. But the only reason why he played was because Carson Wentz was doing so ass that they said, fuck it, let's see what we got in Jalen Hurts. So he sat throughout most of the year, saw what to do and what not to do from Jalen, came in versus the Packers that day, and, he showed something, and he continued to show something. And then that's when the rest is history, when Carson Wentz wanted out, and we traded him. He was the guy for the company. Talking about Carson, he was the guy for the company until he was the guy for the team, and he said, fuck it, I don't want to be here no more. And he got his wish. Trade him over to the Colts for a first-round pick. Turn that, well, you know what we turned that into. And the rest was history with Jalen Hurts' development. But yeah, y'all gotta learn. I'm sorry, unless your quarterback is like Josh Allen, like Lamar Jackson, like soon to be Cam Ward, I'm telling you this right now, he's gonna be that good of a quarterback. Unless you have a safe quarterback like that, you need to start sitting your QBs and start telling them, okay, we need you to learn real quick. J.J. McCarthy, in this case, he should have sat. He should sit. Because I think he's healthy, but the Steelers don't want to say anything about it. I'm sorry, the Vikings don't want to say anything about it for whatever reason. I don't know why, but hey, it's them. I need to start cleaning out this monitor. God damn. Alright. So next, we got the Patriots versus the Titans. I mean, honestly, I really don't want to talk about it because everyone and their mother knew how this was going to go. Drake May's having a year of his life, bro. I'm telling you. I already said it last time. I'll say it again. Man went 21 of 23, 222 yards and 2 touchdowns. Another, I believe if I'm right, that's another perfect passer rating. We had 2 perfect passer ratings. And so far, Drake May is showing, he's showing that he belongs in this league, bro. Real quick. He's showing that, look, my investment in the Patriots so far this season, when I called that, I said, look, don't sleep on the Patriots. They're going to do something. And so far, they're looking like they're proving me right. Patriots is with that shit right now. So, let's take a look at their next game. The Patriots' next game is against the Browns. You already know where I'm going with this. I'm going to go 2 touchdowns again with Drake May. Now, I get it. The Browns just sat up there and just whipped the Dolphins' ass. But look how they're doing it. I mean, it's all defense and special teams. And Quinshon Judkins ran for 3 touchdowns. I don't think he's going to do that versus the Patriots. I don't think so. I don't think that's going to happen like that. Nobody cares about Panthers versus Jets, so we're going to go ahead and skip that. Saints versus Bears. Nobody cares too much about that either because we know what the Saints are. The Bears sitting up there handling business. Two wins off of them. You know, they rattled off 2 wins. The Bears are 4-2 right now. They're looking pretty good. So we'll see what's going to happen with their next game, which is against the Ravens. Oh, they're going to squash them. I'm not worried about that. Now, this one. Here we go. Clap cheeks of the week, y'all. Y'all can pretty much set this shit in stone. Clap cheeks. Clap them cheeks! Clap them cheeks! Clap them cheeks! Clap them cheeks! I can make a case and say right now, bearing whatever the hell happens throughout the rest of this season, this is probably going to be the worst clap cheeks game I'll see yet. The Chiefs blow out the Raiders, their own rival, 31-0. 31-0. This was so bad. So bad. So bad. So bad enough to the point that the Chiefs were doing kneel downs within 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the fourth quarter. They were doing kneel downs. Like how bad can the Raiders constantly get, bro? I don't get this shit with them. You move from Oakland to Las Vegas and you're still ass. Let's call it for what it is. You're still ass. Like, if I look up Chiefs 2 minutes right now, look at this. Look at this. 2 minutes and 36 seconds left, and they're kneeling.
Going to the victory formation. That might be an all-time early kneel down with still on the north side of the 2
What?
minute warning.
3 timeouts for the other team. I think
with 3 timeouts left,
get it, though.
And they're not even going to so much call one because of how bad this went.
Right, it's rare for a quarterback to do that, but it does happen. We've seen it before.
Super rare. For what Tony Romo said, I'm sorry, that is super rare. You're doing kneel downs within 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. 2 minutes and 36 to be exact, but still. What? Normally I would see a run play, the burn clock, not a kneel down. Crowd was already leaving. I'll be honest, that might be more disrespectful than running up the score. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, man, look. Motherfuckers was kneeling within 2 minutes and 36 seconds of the game. That is arguably one of, if not the worst clap cheeks ass whoopings that I have ever seen. And we have seen a lot of them while covering this podcast. We've seen a lot of them. So the fact that this happened, unbelievable. And I don't have much to say. I don't have much to say. What more could you want me to say? Packers escape beating the Cardinals 27-23. And I say escape because this needs to be said right here, okay? The Packers are on fraud watch. They may be 4-1, but they're on fraud watch. Look what they have done throughout the past couple of games. They escaped versus the Cardinals. They escaped versus the Bengals. Don't let the score tell you otherwise. They really escaped this game. They tie versus the Cowboys, which they should have beaten. And then they get their ass beat by the Browns 13-10. Literally within the first 2 weeks of this season, motherfuckers was calling they were calling the Packers, oh shit, this might be a playoff contending team. Look how they've been able to escape by a couple of these games. They're on fraud watch. And let me find out when they go up against the Steelers that they're on full-on fraud watch. Because I can tell you this right now, the Steelers ain't going to be they're not an easy test. I will say that right now. But this is their chance to show us that they're meant to be a playoff team. This is a playoff team right here they're going up against. Let's be real here. The Steelers, when it's all said and done, they might be a playoff team with Aaron Rodgers. They keep this up, they're looking to be one. So this is their shot. You got TJ Watt versus Micah Parsons. Micah better show up in this game. Because let me find out he gets shut off. You got Jordan Love taking on his former quarterback, the guy he sat behind 3 years with Aaron Rodgers. We're going to find out and see if the student surpassed the master or unless the master still got more to say. It's going to get real interesting. Now, with that being said, we're going to find out and see. The Packers are on straight fraud watch. The Cowboys just completely beat up on the Commanders 44-22. I'll be honest, I was not expecting this, but then I should have been expecting this. I'm going to tell you why. I should have been expecting this because if you guys remember, back with the 2024 NFC Championship game, I specifically said when I covered that game, I said, look, the Commanders had the luckiest season they could have ever had. I believe I covered this in the podcast. If I didn't say that then, I'm sorry. But they had a lucky season for real. You had to look at the wins they were barely getting in 2024. Specifically, that Hail Mary versus the Bears was a prime example. Their biggest statement win from 2024, I shit y'all not, their biggest statement win came from beating the Titans 42-19. But the problem is, that's the Titans. We knew the Titans wasn't going to be good. Like right here, they beat the Panthers last year 40-7. We knew the Panthers weren't going to be good. So what's their biggest statement win? Let's go ahead and take a look. Oh, I don't know. I guess their biggest statement win was when they beat a Jalen Hurts concussion Eagles 36-33. Barely beat them. Barely. I guess you can say that's their statement win. And then when the Eagles came back, we knew what time it was when Jalen Hurts came back healthy. That they had to put up or shut up. Everything else you see here, the Cowboys, we knew what the Cowboys was last year. We know what they are this year. But we knew that from last year, they was escaping by games they had no business escaping on. We knew that they shouldn't have been in the playoffs for real. They had a great season. Not really a great season. They had an okay season, but not a great season. And the only reason why I say it's an okay season is because of two players on that team. It's because of Jaden Daniels, who we're going to get to in a minute, and it's because of Frankie Louvu. It's not because of any of the old players on that team or experienced players on that team. It's not because of a couple of the young guys that's not named Jaden Daniels or Frankie Louvu on that team. It's because of those two. Those two put the Commanders on notice. Now, we go into this season, 2025. What's been going on with the Commanders? Well, we know what's been going on with the Commanders. They decided, you know what? Let's run it back. Let's run it back with the same old group of players that we had last year and try to continue to make our quote-unquote magic happen. And so far for them, their magic ain't been shit. Let's take a look and see what losses, what their wins and loss records look like right now. They beat the Giants 21-6, first game of the season. They lose to the Packers 27-18, who we already said the Packers are on fraud watch. The Commanders is right behind them. They beat the Raiders 41-24. They lose to the Falcons 34-27. We're going to definitely talk about the Falcons in a bit. They beat the Chargers 27-10. We're going to talk about the Chargers in a bit as well. They lose to the Bears 25-24, and they get their ass kicked versus the Cowboys 44-22. This team, their magic is done. Even from last year, their team is cooked. And you knew they would be cooked heading into the playoffs last year. They're cooked before they even get a shot to get there. Let's take a look. Dak Prescott went 21 of 30, 264 yards and 3 touchdowns. And I'm going to say this right now. I wanted the Cowboys to win this game. Because if you take a look at the standings right now, had the Commanders won, they would be right behind us. They would constantly be a game behind us. So the fact that the Cowboys won this game, the Eagles get some breathing room, and we're each 2 games behind both the Cowboys and the Commanders. Now, we're going to see what both teams are going to be going up against in a bit right after I cover these stats. But Jayden Daniels went 12 of 22, 156 yards and a touchdown. And there was some eerie news, well, not really eerie news, but some bad news for the Commanders. Whereas Jayden Daniels hurt his knee. And not the knee he had a brace on, not the right knee. It's the left knee, the one that didn't have a brace on. So this man is going to have a brace on both knees if he does come back and play. That is a rough way to go for your quarterback. But you want to know what's just as much of a rough way to go is the fact that I'm pretty sure every Eagles fan and their mom pretty much told Commanders fans, I said, look, whatever happened last season, it's not going to be the same way this year because Truck Coon's going to hit you like a fucking going to hit you like as he should. Hit you like a truck. Truck Coon going to hit you when you least expect it. And, of course, it has hit them when it has least expected. So right now, all I've seen when I get on the timeline is the Commanders fans is already drawing up mock drafts. What a shit way to go for your season, huh? We're only halfway through the season. And you're already drawing up mocks? Okay. I mean, that's them, but hey. It's almost like we didn't tell them what was going to happen when 2025 happened, where everyone had film on Jayden Daniels, who, by the way, injured or not, was going through quite the sophomore slump. And it's funny enough for me, and I hope this is a lesson learned, because people did this with C.J. Stroud, and we're going to talk about the Texans as well. They did this with C.J. Stroud. They did this now with Jayden Daniels. Thank God they're not doing this to Cam Ward. But people need to stop. Y'all need to cut this shit out talking about rookies are the next best thing coming. Rookies are automatically elite. Where y'all want this instant gratification, and then when the following season come along, they play like complete and utter ass. This shit happens to rookies. It's supposed to happen to rookies. This isn't new. The only rookies this have not, as far as I'm concerned, the only rookies this have not happened to is Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson because they're not normal. They're not normal. Puka Nacua, not normal. Cooper Kupp, not normal. And notice that the ones I'm listing here are wide receivers that are not normal. So, y'all need to stop thinking with every rookie that comes out and they have an explosion of a rookie year that they're going to replicate this the following year. They are absolutely not going to. And you best prepare for a drop-off. Like right now, where I prepped for a drop-off with Saquon Barkley. I actually said this right after we had won the Super Bowl. I said, look, we're not going to get another 2K season out of Saquon Barkley again. I'm going to tell you that right now. I also said I'm not even sure if we're going to get back to the Super Bowl because getting there in the first place is hard enough. Having to get there and repeat is 2 times harder. So right now, I'm just enjoying the season while I got it. But all I know is this, having a repeat season, easier said than done when everyone already knows how you handled it. They already know how you handled it. That doesn't mean that this is going to go the same way again. And so far, that hasn't been the case for either of these teams. Well, unless the Cowboys has been the case for them. Because, let's be real, yes, the Cowboys playing solid football right now. But guess what? Not having Micah Parsons there is going to come back to bite them. Right when they face some good competition, it's going to come back to bite them. They're facing competition that's below their level. Now, let's see what happens when they face competition that's either equal or above their level. Because you had just seen the Cowboys not too long ago lose versus the Panthers. A team that is apparently on their level. When I don't even think so for real. So, we'll see. But, hey, Commanders, Cowboys, we'll see. And as you can see, this is the Commanders' next 3 games, and they got it rough. They got the Chiefs, they got the Seahawks, they got the Lions. I repeat, they have the Chiefs, they have the Seahawks, and they have the Lions. What a rough 3-game stretch. Don't be shocked in one of these weeks we start covering that the Commanders got their cheeks clapped and they're on clap cheeks of the week. I won't be shocked at this point. I won't be shocked. We got the Falcons taking on the 49ers. The Falcons lose to the 49ers 20-10. Mac Jones so far is doing a pretty good job taking over for Brock Purdy, but it does raise a little bit of questions. Is what's going on in that quarterback room with the 49ers? I understand that, you gave Brock Purdy a ton of money, but I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but Mac Jones looking a little bit more comfortable in that system than he was when he was with the 49ers. I'm sorry, when he was with the Patriots. And when he was with the Jags. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. We might have some quarterback controversy over there in San Francisco, but keep an eye on that one. Christian McCaffrey looking like he's returning to how he was back in Carolina, where he goes 24 carries, 129 yards, 2 touchdowns. He completely shredded the Falcons in this game. My goodness. I don't know what's going on with the Falcons, but hey, look, y'all had Christian McCaffrey to deal with for like 4 years in Carolina. I don't know how y'all still don't know how to deal with him. Christian McCaffrey was also leading receiver. He has 7 catches for 72 yards. My goodness, dude. And keep in mind, George Kittle came back, and he was still the leading receiver. So, in fact, George Kittle didn't do anything. Man's was running cardio. Yeah, if I'm the 49ers, I'd be scared shitless. Now, I understand Christian McCaffrey is a phenomenal, he's a phenom when it goes to receiving, but he should not be the leading receiver on your team. That is a problem. They need to fix the wide receiver situation very soon. I understand Ayuk got hurt and you traded Deebo Samuel, but now I bet they wish they had Deebo Samuel right now, because what they have is not it. So, last two games, honestly, I don't think there's much to cover, but I do want to talk about this. The MVP, Baker Mayfield. What's going on? 28 of 50 yards, 228 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. MVP, ladies and gentlemen. Media crowning him MVP after a couple games. Was good. Now understand, like, you know, they were 5-1 heading into this, but I also said this when Dre was here. For people trying to say that Baker Mayfield's the MVP, you better hold off on that comment, because Baker Mayfield can and will let you down. Oh, he got that scrappy attitude. That's how he plays, and then when it's come playoff time, he fucking shits the bed. Like, the Bucks are the kind of team where, like, yo, they will beat up on people in the regular season. They will do it. They will beat such and such team here and there when it goes to the playoffs. But when it goes to getting deeper in the playoffs, they can't do it. Now, what also hurts them is Mike Evans is out for the rest of the season with 2 injuries. He fucked up his collarbone, and sadly, he fucked up his knee again, which is a damn shame, because Mike Evans will no longer have the opportunity to break the 1,000-yard streak, which is fucking rough. But you want to know what I find just as much rough? How come the Bucks thought it was a good idea to have a play with Mike Evans on a go route just now coming off of a hamstring injury, and y'all thought for a second that if, maybe something might happen if you do this? Just maybe. So, I don't know. It's the Bucks and their bullshit, but it's a shame of what happened to Mike Evans. He don't get to break that, illustrious 1,000-yard streak, but he did tie it with, Jerry Rice, so that is some bit of consolation, I guess. Now, Baker Mayfield, throughout the rest of his game, had to deal without Mike Evans and without Ibuka as well. And if he did, he was overthrowing Ibuka. Pretty damn bad. Motherfucker was throwing a lot of high balls. He was thinking the receivers he had out there was 7 foot tall. Like, he thought that he had the great Khali at wide receiver. That's how bad he was overthrowing these balls. High balls, too. Nothing low. Very high. The best receiver was Cade Otton, 7 catches for 65 yards. After Mike Evans had left. I don't know what's going on, but hey, Baker better get that shit together, and he better get it together fast. Because the next game that they have coming up, let me go and take a look. The next game they have coming up is against our rival Saints. Now, the Saints ain't all that good. Let's not get twisted. The Saints aren't all that good, but if the Bucks keep slipping, the Saints will catch them slipping. I don't put it past any rival to catch a rival slipping. Now, in the case of the Detroit Lions, another day at the office, solid game. And, now they're facing a Vikings team that's licking wounds right now. So, we'll see how that'll go. But, yeah, Vikings at the moment, I don't know. I don't think they're going to beat the Lions in this game, but we'll see. I mean, crazy shit has happened before. It's rivals game. It's rival week. That's how shit goes. Now, we got Texans versus Seahawks. This goes back to my point, what I said about Jayden Daniels. For people sitting up there and saying that C.J. Stroud was going to be the next great quarterback, you have to relax. You got to chill. Okay? Chill. Understandably, he had a better game than Sam Darnold, but y'all gotta chill. Mans was running for his life when I tuned into the game. In fact, he almost caused a safety at the beginning of the game. This is not the C.J. Stroud we knew in his rookie year. He is like not there. Now, despite that, the Seahawks win 27-19. Jackson Smith and Jigba and Sam Darnold cashed me out my bet. Thank y'all so much. Cashed me. Thank y'all so much. I won $65. I'll take what I can get. Yeah, they won this game. They did pretty good. So, next game, they should pretty much get it without a problem, but we'll see what'll happen. So their next game is going to be against the Commanders. I'm betting on them to completely wreck shit because guess what? Jaden Daniels will not be playing in that game. You already know that. He fucked up his knee. So we'll have a good idea with how that's gonna go. Now, that's everything when it goes to week 7. Now I'm gonna cover some week 8 bets. Vikings versus Chargers. Yeah, Vikings versus Chargers apparently. Why the hell did I see it as the Vikings taking on the Lions? That's week 9. What the hell are the Lions facing? Oh, they're on bye. Okay, that makes sense. They're on bye week. I'm like, what the fuck is this? So that explains everything. They're on bye week. Okay, so Vikings versus Chargers. I expect a touchdown each from Carson Wentz and Justin Herbert in this game. Both defenses are ass. And I expect Justin Jefferson to be a recipient of a touchdown. And I expect Lat McConkey to be a recipient of a touchdown as well. Both defenses are not that good. Well, granted, the Vikings the Vikings, blah. The Vikings defense are like top 5 in the league, but they just got handled. I would say pick that up too, by the way, if y'all count that power bank. My bad, because I'm talking like I don't know ball. The Vikings pass defense is top 5. But they did just get handled by the Philadelphia Eagles, who is a little suspect right now when it goes to the offense, but they still got handled by them. They are trying to get it together. So we'll see what'll happen, but yeah, that Vikings defense, I don't know. They might be teetering a little bit. Dolphins versus Falcons. This might be a contender for clap cheeks of the week. Bijan Robinson is going to get a touchdown, 100 yards in this game. Drake London is going to get a touchdown in this game. I'll tell you that right now. Bears versus Ravens. Caleb Williams is going to throw for 2 touchdowns, possibly 3 touchdowns, and one of them will go to Rome Odunze. Jets versus Bengals. Joe Flacco gives his former team hell. That's all I can say. Bills versus Panthers. If Josh Allen does not throw for 200 yards, something is wrong. Granted, here's the deal. The Panthers are they're a sneaky good team. So while I would say something will be wrong, the Panthers are kind of finding their groove at the moment. If they win this game, they'll go up to 5-3. So, this is low key might be a good game. But you want to know what? For why I think it could be a good game, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. The Panthers is gonna upset the Bills. They're gonna upset them. And I don't even know if it would really be called an upset, because the way that I look at it is this. The only thing the Bills got going for is Josh Allen and James Cook. Other than that, who do they got? No one. This is the same thing as last year. Except right now, you're up against a tough Panthers team who's finding their groove. They're finding themselves, and I'm loving it. And if they'll really find themselves if they beat this Bills team. 49ers versus Texans. The 49ers are going to completely win this game, and Christian McCaffrey is going to go for another 100-yard game and score for a touchdown. Browns versus Patriots. Jake May throws for 2 touchdowns. Giants versus Eagles. The Eagles get their revenge, and they start clapping cheeks on the Giants. I actually think this will be the game where the Eagles should get their lick back versus the Giants. And they're wearing the Kelly Green, so they should absolutely get their look back. If they don't, something's wrong. You get swept versus the Giants, this will be a big problem. And to be fair, it's already a problem enough as is, because even when the Eagles won this game, you still had people pointing fingers at at our offensive coordinator, at Kevin Patullo. They keep pointing fingers at him, rightfully so, because people don't trust him. They think he's ass. Rightfully so. And I still want Mike McCarthy on this team. I'm telling you, the minute we get him on this team, it's going to be a different story. It's time for him to get a different change of scenery. We'll see. Bucks versus Saints. Baker Mayfield, despite not having Mike Evans, should throw for 2 touchdowns in this game. If he doesn't, the Bucks have a problem. Titans versus Colts. Colts with Jonathan Taylor, he should go for 100 yards and a touchdown. Yeah, Jonathan Taylor, 100 yards and a touchdown, pretty much. Cowboys versus Broncos. Dak Prescott should throw for 2 touchdowns. Again, if you haven't noticed, this is a recurring theme. Dak throwing for 2 touchdowns. You want to know why? Because they have nobody else on offense that they can really trust to get the ball, specifically at running back. I know they got Javonte Williams, but he's not that good. It's really been Dak and just whoever he got for the passing game. And if they can't get it done, they're cooked. Packers versus Steelers. Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers each go for a touchdown. But I think Aaron Rodgers shows the young gun that this is still his team for real. And he throws for 200 yards. I think he throws for 200 yards and a touchdown. Probably 300. Commanders versus Chiefs. If Patrick Mahomes does not throw for 3 touchdowns, I will actually be stunned. Unless the run game actually gets going. That's the only way I see him not throwing for 3 touchdowns is if the run game gets going. But other than that, it's Patrick Mahomes' world and everybody's just living in it. There's a reason why Pat is right back on MVP consideration. Other than that, that's it. That's it, y'all. I'm done for tonight. I'm about to go watch this basketball because that shit is coming back. Now, with that being said, I see Winter is playing Final Fantasy. You already know because I was there for a little bit. So we're going to go check her out. Y'all go and have yourself a good rest of the day, night, evening. If y'all want to stick around in the VC, I will be watching the NBA, which is now coming back. So I'll see y'all there. If not, I'll see y'all on tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow. Well, yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow in the VC because you know we got to do some Halloween shit. You know, we're still trying to do that. We did Wednesday on Monday, which is weird. We watched Wednesday on a Monday. But tomorrow we're going to be watching, I'm going to find another Halloween thing to watch. I think I'm going to watch Soul Eater tomorrow. So that's going to be the plan. Alright, till then, bye. Take care of yourself. Don't be addicted to your fellow people. Be nice to everyone. And I will see you tomorrow for some Soul Eater on the VC. Bye.